Hello, financial coaches. How are you? Happy Wednesday. This is Coach Jill Emanuel hopping on really quick. I'm one of the administrators of this group. I'm one of the mentors for the Financial Coach Academy, and I am the director of coaching for our financial coaching business, Fiscal Fitness Phoenix. I wanted to hop on really quickly. I've got like 10 minutes before I have a coaching call, but this thought is in my head, so I was like, I'm gonna hop on really quick and do a live inside of this group, so bear with me, guys. But the thought that I'm having based on a couple of conversations and posts that I have seen over the last couple of days is this idea that what you think does not matter, right? So when it comes to coaching, I want you guys to try and trust that you do not need to know all of the answers, that your job is not to always immediately try to solve the problem for your client. It is not always to try to tell them all of the answers and all of the thoughts that come to your head, or to convince them that they need you. Okay, so this is definitely something that I've seen come up many times. I know that it is something that I continually work on myself when I am coaching clients or students inside of the academy, that we will get asked as the expert in our field, what should I do? Right? Or why do I need that? Or what do you think? And our immediate response is to try to deliver value, right? To try to prove ourselves, to try to fill in the gaps or show the person the way. And we immediately go into this sort of like word vomit of, here's all the things that I have to share with you. And that is not coaching, okay? So I want to talk to you about this because I think it is really important that we do not always immediately come up with the solutions and the answers for our client, but rather the more important thing, our job as their coach, is to really lead them to the self-realization for themselves of what is important to them, or what direction they want to go, or how they can gain clarity on the situation themselves. Because what happens is that when we give them an answer, or give them a solution, give them direction, tell them what we think they should do, and they themselves have not realized why that matters to them, or why that's important, or how that is so obvious to them that that is the best solution, that they won't take action. And that's not what we want for them, right? Or they'll take action, but they're not like fully bought in, or they're doing the thing because we said to do it, but they're like kind of doing it and then kind of not doing it, or they wind up self-sabotaging themselves or falling off track because they don't feel totally committed to that solution, right? And so our job as their coach is not to always tell them what we think, is not to always give them the answer. And granted, we might do that once they themselves have acknowledged like, ooh, this is what I really want, right? So the thing that had me thinking about this initially was based on a sales conversation. Another coach was telling me that they were having a sales conversation with a prospective client, and the client was asking them, well, what do I get? Right? And this is something that you probably all hear from time to time, or maybe on a very regular basis, of clients that are asking you, what is it that they're going to get out of coaching with you, out of this relationship with you? What will be the deliverable, or what are they going to see out of it? And, you know, your job in that moment is not to immediately go down the road of like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this, and I do this with my clients and I do that with my clients and I solve this problem and blah, 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 blah. Okay. That is our natural response, right? Is that we want to feel validated, or we want to show how much we have to deliver. We want to prove ourselves. This is not what you should be doing in this moment, right? Because that is convincing them that they need you. It's this convincing energy of like, look at all I have to deliver. And you may not, in any of those things that you say, actually be showing them that you have the answer to solve the problem that they are seeking, right? So your job in that moment is to shut up. Okay. I know that it's really hard. I know that we immediately want to start like giving them answers and solutions, but really our job in that moment is not to give them all of the things that pop into our mind and overwhelm them with a bunch of different things that they're thinking that's not at all what I'm seeking, right? That's not what I'm looking for. We really need to find out what they want. Why are they talking to us in the first place? What is important to them, right? And why do they think that they need coaching? So that is the more important thing, not to immediately go down the road of solving the problem, of giving all of the answers, of proving ourselves, right? So our job is actually to step back. So as soon as you start hearing yourself like, well, we do this and we can do that and blah, 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 and I deliver, zip, right? We need to like take a deep breath, step back and ask them instead, like, why is this important to you? Tell me what you would most like to get out of this relationship. Tell me why you're here in the first place. And so oftentimes we will hear from a client during the sales conversation, they'll say, well, I need a plan, right? I need a plan with my money. That's what drives a lot of people to seek out financial coaching, is that they really do want a plan. They want to be doing things better. They want to know that they have the right structure for their money. They are putting it in all of the right places. So they want a plan. Now, here's the thing. People will pay for a plan up to a certain dollar amount, right? So like with Fiscal Fitness, we are premium coaches. Our coaching program is $7,500. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't pay $7,500 for a plan. Right? If that is all that's being delivered of like, we're going to give you a plan for your money, like I wouldn't pull the trigger on a $7,500 investment for a plan, right? Like people will maybe pay $50, maybe a few $100, but a few thousand. I mean, people think that they are smart, and they are smart, right? Like we are capable human beings. We can research. There are plenty of free plans out there on the internet. So people might pay a bit for a custom plan, yes, but an investment in a long-term coaching program with a financial coach is more than just a plan, but the person is going to need to realize for themselves why it's important to them, or what is the cost to them if they don't invest in this way in themselves, if they don't gain this new knowledge, if they don't gain this new perspective on their financial life. What would it mean to them to be in the same place a year from now or 2 years from now, to have made no progress? What is the cost to them of not mastering their financial life? So our job is not to say, well, we're going to work through a debt payoff strategy. We're going to give you strategic amounts of money that are custom to your life of how much to save for things. Like all of that is great and well, but it needs to be more than that to the client to be able to move forward with coaching and feel confident in it. And our job as their coach is to direct that conversation and to help them realize for themselves what is important to them. Why does it matter to them? So instead, we need to be asking them questions, not giving them answers, right? So asking them questions about, tell me, what have you done so far to improve your financial life? Where have you fallen off track? What has gotten in your way? What has prevented you up until this point of feeling completely confident with your money? What would it look like if a year from now you felt the same? Or like, what is the cost of that to you, right? Because all of these things dig deeper to find out what really internally is driving them. What are the fears or uncertainties that they have around their money that they need to solve to confidently move into this next stage of their financial life? Those are things that people can say, I'm invested in this. I can see how I am holding myself back, or how I've self-sabotaged, or how I've taken missteps. I know that I want to solve this in my life. I know that I want to gain these skills so that I can excel in my financial world forever and ever, for well beyond this program, but for a decade, 2 decades. I can leave a legacy. I can build wealth. That is what we want to show them that we deliver. And so I want to just leave this little note here as a reminder that what you think in that moment does not matter, right? It does not matter. We need to find out what they think. That is what matters. And that's the same with all coaching conversations beyond the sales conversation. But in that moment when they're saying, should I do this or what should I do? We need to discover or help them discover for themselves, rather, why it matters to them. Why is it important? How can we help them to see what the choice is that matters most to them so that they feel empowered to make financial decisions for themselves for the long run? All right, that is my 2 cents for today. I have a coaching call in 1 minute. I'm so proud of myself that I got this in, but I would love to hear what you guys think of this. Do you find yourself over-explaining and giving all the solutions, or are you working on mastering the skill of asking questions? All right, hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I'll see you later.